If you're not a rom-com lover, then this video probably is not for you, but if you love cozy, comforting, easy watching, and an ending you can count on, I hope you stick around. I have watched every single Netflix original Christmas rom-com, and today I'm going to be tier ranking them because let's be honest, not all rom-coms are created equal, especially those produced by Netflix. So grab your favorite Christmas snack and get comfortable because it's going to be a long one. Quick note, I am only ranking Netflix original Christmas rom-coms released in the US and Canada. So that means no international films or foreign language films, just the ones Netflix has produced themselves. Let me know your own rankings down in the comments below. I want to know, do you agree with me or do you think I am completely delusional? For S tier, we have Snow Globe status. For A tier, we have All the Feels. B tier is Better Than Expected. C tier is Cute but Forgettable. And then lastly, we have D tier, which is Do Not Rewatch. So I'm gonna go in order of release dates. So starting with the oldest ones first. The first original Christmas rom-com that Netflix came out with was The Christmas Prince. So this one stars Amber, who is an ambitious journalist sent to the fictional kingdom of Aldovia to write about the notoriously elusive Prince Richard, who is said to be abdicating his throne at Christmas. Through a series of extremely convenient circumstances, Amber ends up going undercover as the young princess's tutor, so Richard's sister. This gives her full access to the palace, the family drama, and all the secrets that she should not be snooping around about. Obviously, as Amber gets closer to Richard, she discovers that he's not as spoiled and as much as a playboy as the media makes him out to be. Meanwhile, we have scheming relatives, political pressure, and Christmas deadlines looming over everything. What starts as a work assignment turns into a full-blown identity crisis as Amber must choose between her journalistic duties and love. So I watched this when it first came out, and to be honest, wasn't crazy about it. But then I decided that I wanted to watch every single Netflix original movie all December long, so I had to rewatch it, and it grew on me. For Netflix's first original Christmas rom-com, I'm gonna give it a B, Better Than Expected. Next we have The Christmas Inheritance. This one follows Ellen Langford, a wealthy heiress whose whole personality has been funded by daddy's credit card. Ellen's father wants to retire from his company and Ellen is set to take over, but he's not sure she is ready for the commitment because she just seems like she's more interested in partying and having a good time. So he decides to test her by sending her to a small snow-covered town with the task of delivering a Christmas letter to his old business partner. Naturally, everything goes wrong for Ellen. She loses her money, her phone, any sense of entitlement she previously had. While stuck in town, Ellen befriends Jake, who is the local innkeeper. And as the movie progresses, Ellen experiences real community, generosity, a sense of responsibility for the first time ever. This one, I did not really care for. It was fine watching it. I don't think I would ever want to watch it again. As soon as you meet Ellen, you kind of don't like her. She does also have a really obnoxious fiance, and as much as we also don't like him, there is a moment where Jake does try to kiss her and it's like, hello, sir, you know that she has a fiance. I mean, we don't like him as the viewers, we don't like him, but you should not be trying to kiss her when you know she has a fiance. So for me, this is a D, do not rewatch. Moving on. Next we have The Holiday Calendar. This one follows Abby, a talented photographer who is feeling stuck. Creatively, professionally, romantically, her grandfather gifts her an antique advent calendar. And this is no ordinary calendar. This one predicts events that are going to happen in Abby's life, and it nudges her towards new opportunities, difficult choices, and potential romance. So Abby is trying to figure out if she is in control of her own destiny or if she is being controlled by this advent calendar. She finds herself torn between a safe, familiar relationship and a deeper connection that challenges her to chase her dreams. I thought this one was cute. I did love the idea of this magical advent calendar. I haven't really seen that done, I don't recall. This is a friends to lovers, so we do have her best friend Josh that you're kind of rooting for, but then she does meet someone else. So we're kind of going back and forth on who's she gonna end up with. I did enjoy it, but I think it will be a C. Cute, but forgettable. Next we have The Princess Switch starring Vanessa Hudgens, where she plays 1, Stacy, a practical baker from Chicago, and 2, Lady Margaret Delacourt, a duchess on the verge of a very important marriage. Stacy travels to the fictional kingdom of Belgravia to compete in a very prestigious baking competition, where she just happens to run into Lady Margaret Delacourt, and they realize that they look exactly the same. So they do what rational adults do, and they decide to swap lives for a few days before Christmas. Stacy attempts to survive royal etiquette and palace politics, while Margaret escapes her carefully planned life to experience normalcy, baked goods, and some human interaction. Naturally, romance complicates everything when both women find themselves falling for people that they should not be falling for. This movie fully commits to its chaotic premise and somehow convinces you that two strangers can pull off a royal identity swap without international consequences. I found this movie absolutely cringy, but it was hilarious and I loved it. It's really just giving the adult version of It Takes Two, just add in the royalty aspect and of course all the Christmas in there. And honestly, I'm here for it. I enjoyed it. So this one is going to be a B, better than expected. Next we have A Christmas Prince, The Royal Wedding. So we are back in Aldovia 1 year after Amber and Richard fell in love. Amber, now fully engaged, is preparing for her Christmas wedding and preparing to become the official queen of Aldovia. As Christmas approaches, Amber struggles to adapt to rigid royal traditions, intense public scrutiny, and a palace that would really prefer she just stop asking questions. While juggling wedding planning and royal duties, Amber uncovers a political complication tied to Aldovia's constitution that not only threatens the wedding, but the monarchy itself. Caught between love, duty, and her own identity, Amber must decide how much of herself she's willing to compromise to fully step into royal life. I loved being back in this universe. I think this movie actually did a really good job of calling back to the first movie. We have the characters that we love, witty jokes, political intrigue, and for me, this is also a B, better than expected. Next we have Holiday in the Wild. So we have Kate, who shortly after her son leaves for college, her husband tells her he wants a divorce. And this of course is all after she planned a very thorough second honeymoon for them. So she decides to go on that honeymoon by herself. And we love that for her. So Kate travels to Zambia to figure out who she is outside of motherhood and marriage now. While there, she meets Derek, who is a rugged pilot, and he transports supplies and wildlife. Kate gets involved in an elephant sanctuary and begins taking care of baby elephants. We love. She slowly starts to find purpose, independence, and joy again in her life. A relationship obviously starts to develop between Kate and Derek, and she needs to decide if she is going to go back to her life or if she is going to stay in her new life. First of all, there should be a trigger warning on this movie because there's a very distressing scene about an elephant that had gotten attacked, which is how they find a baby elephant which they later bring to the elephant sanctuary. And I really just wish it said that before the movie started to get me prepared because I was really sad after that. My favorite part of this movie was quite frankly the elephants, the baby elephants. They are so fun, they are so adorable. Beyond that, the movie is really more about Kate rediscovering herself, I would say, with a little bit of romance in there. Because it's set in Africa, you don't really get as much holiday theming as you would get in a North American setting. Again, I liked it. It had its moments, but I'm gonna say C. Cute, but forgettable. Next we have Let It Snow. This is actually the only young adult movie on this list. This is set over one very snowy Christmas Eve in the small town of Gracetown. A massive snowstorm shuts everything down. This movie weaves together multiple storylines with multiple characters about first loves, friendships, long-term relationships that are being questioned, and feelings that have been avoided for way too long. As the snow piles up, so do realizations, forcing everyone to finally say what they mean and decide what they want. I am not a big YA lover, books, movies. It's kind of hit or miss for me. Again, a lot of people in this movie, there are multiple couples that we follow along throughout this Christmas Eve. And it is very sweet, but I think for myself, just because again, it is YA, this is gonna be a D, do not rewatch. I will never rewatch this again. And next we have The Night Before Christmas. So this one follows Sir Cole, who is a medieval knight who gets transported to present day time by a sorceress as a reward because he helped her during the cold. Sir Cole, obviously confused by cars, cell phones, and the idea of indoor heating, meets Brooke, our girl Vanessa Hudgens back again. And Brooke is a logical science teacher who did not have time-traveling medieval knight on her bingo card. So Brooke takes him in and helps him survive modern day life, all while not questioning the situation entirely enough. So as Cole charms everyone with his old-fashioned manners and belief in destiny, Brooke starts to rediscover her Christmas spirit. The two must decide if this is just a festive fever dream or if true love ignores several centuries of logic. Netflix said, what if it's Hallmark but with time travel? And they committed to it. Obviously, we really have to stretch our imagination for this one, but I didn't hate it. It was cute. We love our girl Vanessa Hudgens, so I'm giving it a C. Cute but forgettable. We are back again in Aldovia for the final installment of A Christmas Prince, the Royal Baby. This one follows Amber and Richard as they welcome their first child, and then they face a series of challenges when an ancient Aldovian curse threatens the peace in Aldovia. The couple must work together with their family, friends, and royal team to solve the mystery of the curse and ensure the birth of their baby takes place without any mishap. Was this movie necessary? Absolutely not. Did I love it? Absolutely yes. Again, we have all our favorite characters from the first two movies, all the callbacks to their jokes from the first two movies, the same setting as the first two movies. So if you liked 1 and 2, you're gonna love this one. I will say, I did actually like this one the most out of all 3. However, for me, I wouldn't say it's a standalone movie. You kind of need to watch the first 2 to really get this last one. Again, maybe because I watched them basically back to back because I was watching 1 movie a day, I was really able to appreciate all 3 movies, I feel like. I do believe they came out one after the other year-wise. So I think 2016, 2017, 2018. And I think if I had to wait that long between watching the films, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. But because I basically watched them almost in one go, I was like, oh, this is great. I love it. Call me crazy, but it's gonna be A tier for me. All the feels. I love this one. So next we have Holidate. This one centers around Sloane and Jackson, who are cynical singles who are sick and tired of their family and friends trying to set them up on dates for the holidays. After meeting at the mall, they strike up a deal to be each other's holidates, attending holiday gatherings together as fake partners to get their family and friends off their back. As they spend more time together over the course of several holidays, their fake relationship gradually turns into something more, forcing them both to confront their feelings for each other and their own personal issues. I absolutely loved this movie. I loved the sharper dialogue, the adult humor, the self-aware criticism. This one felt like something that would have played in theaters in 2009. There was no holiday wholesome fluff in it, which again, we love sometimes, but sometimes you want more witty banter. You want them to be a little meaner to each other. That way they fall harder. I did think it was fun too to see them throughout different holidays. So they were basically fake dating for around a year. They obviously started at Christmas and then we see them a year later at Christmas again. So it does still keep in the holiday spirit, I think, but it's nice that it's a longer period of time. If you love that classic rom-com feel, this one is for you. So for me, S tier all the way. Next we have Operation Christmas Drop. This one follows Erica, who is a by-the-books congressional aide sent to a tropical airbase to investigate this humanitarian effort called Operation Christmas Drop. There she meets Captain Andrew, who is a laid-back officer who is very committed to this humanitarian effort in sending supplies and gifts to these small remote islands, while trying to uncover if there is going to be a scandal afoot and get more information about Operation Christmas Drop. Erica gets drawn into the mission and the community, learning lessons about generosity, teamwork, and the unexpected joy of giving back. Romance obviously blossoms between Erica and Andrew, but Erica must figure out if she is for the mission or against it. This one was a fun one. I actually really enjoyed the tropical setting of it. It is also based off of a real humanitarian effort by, I believe, the US Army. Don't quote me, I'm not American, I don't know. Where they would gather supplies and gifts for kids on these small islands, and then during some training runs they would drop the supplies and gifts. At least that's how it's explained in the movie, and quite frankly I loved that. I thought that was really nice. I love that this was a real mission that had actually happened. I believe it's still going, don't quote me on that. Overall, this was a fun watch. makes you want to travel somewhere tropical for Christmas, quite frankly. So for me, I'm gonna say I'm torn between B and C. It's not necessarily forgettable, but I don't know if it's B worthy. You know what? I think for now, I'm gonna put it in B, and then we'll see how I feel when I get through the rest of them. Up next, we have the Princess Switch switched again. Vanessa Hudgens is back playing Stacy and Lady Margaret. Lady Margaret is days away from ascending the throne of Montenaro, but she is deeply unsure if she is ready for that responsibility or for marriage. Lady Margaret goes to Stacy for help, and the two once again decide that swapping lives just before Christmas is a perfectly reasonable solution to an emotional crisis. While Stacy steps in for Margaret to help her out with some royal duties, Margaret sneaks away to spend time with Kevin, Stacy's best friend, and Margaret's not so secret love interest. Complicating everything is the arrival of Margaret's mischievous cousin, Fiona, who is played by, once again, Vanessa Hudgens. Fiona adds chaos, temptation, and a noticeable increase in eyeliner to the situation. The result is romantic confusion, royal stress, and a reminder that Netflix will absolutely give Vanessa Hudgens multiple accents if given the chance. Netflix was really like, we're gonna up the ante and have Vanessa play 3 different characters this time around. I obviously think Fiona's character is just so ridiculous and cringy, but it just all works together, you know? We're not thinking about that. We are focused on if Stacy and Kevin are gonna get together. Did I like this as much as the first one? I'm gonna say no. Again, I liked it because it calls back to the first one. You meet some new people, you have some old people, so it's all fun. But I do think the first one sort of stands alone on its own. You didn't really need this one. So I'm putting this one in C, cute but forgettable. Up next is A California Christmas. This one follows Callie, a fiercely independent rancher who is trying to keep her family's vineyard afloat. And we have Joseph, a smooth-talking city executive who is sent to acquire Callie's family's land for his boss, his mother. To get close to Callie and to close the deal, Joseph poses as a farmhand, fully committing to vineyard life, despite clearly not knowing what he is doing. As the two work side by side through the holiday season, their initial friction turns into genuine connection, complicated by the fact that Joseph is hiding a very big secret. I don't know why, but the chemistry between these two was not it for me, which is really weird because they got married in real life. I feel like she just hated him so much in the beginning that I couldn't accept her falling in love with him after. I actually think the side characters were my favorite in this one. So you have Manny, who is the actual ranch hand that Joseph is pretending to be, and then you have his butler, Leo, and the two of them together, hilarious. Truly my favorite part of this movie. That being said, A California Christmas for me, I want to say is a D. Do not rewatch. I don't really have any desire to watch this again. Moving on to Love Hard. This one stars Nina Dobrev as Natalie, who is a hopeless romantic who thinks she's found the one in a guy that she matched with online named Josh. Josh tells her, "I wish you could spend Christmas with me," and she decides to fly across the country and go spend Christmas with him, even though she has never met him. Interesting choice. Couldn't be me, but you do you. Upon arrival, she discovers that Josh, played by Jimmy O. Yang, has been catfishing her, using photos of his conventionally more handsome friend Tag, played by Darren Burnett. So instead of immediately turning around and going back home, Josh is able to strike up a deal with her. He will introduce her to Tag, who is a real person, and those were the photos that he was sending her, as long as she pretends to be his girlfriend for Christmas, to placate his family because they think he's just sad. So as Natalie spends the holidays with Josh's family, the two form a genuine connection built on humor, honesty, and shared emotional baggage. Naturally, this makes everything more complicated as Natalie's feelings shift and the truth becomes increasingly difficult to hide. I personally love Jimmy O. Yang. I think he is hilarious. I loved him in Silicon Valley. I loved him in his stand-ups. He's great. Nina Dobrev, I don't know if I know her as much. I know she's in Vampire Diaries, but I never watched those, so I don't know her as an actress, but I loved the two of them together. I loved this movie. This one gave me all the feels, perfect little small town Christmas setting. I just love a fake dating trope for some reason, and this one is a good one. So for me, very easy. Love Hard is S tier. Let me know what you think. The last and final installment from the Princess Switch. We have the Princess Switch 3, Romancing the Star. We are back with Stacy, Margaret, and Fiona. When a priceless holiday relic goes missing, Stacy and Margaret turn to their tried and true resolution, switching places and hoping no one notices. Complications multiply when Fiona, Margaret's scheming cousin, enters the picture and immediately chooses chaos. Between royal intrigue, shifting alliances, and festive grandeur, this movie fully leans into its identity as a Christmas rom-com that knows how utterly ridiculous it is. We have Vanessa Hudgens playing 3 different characters with different motives, secret plans, and extremely convincing accents. I hope she got paid bank for this movie. By the end of it, there's so many royal switches that you can't even keep track. And as fun as I do think this movie was it necessary? Not really. I found myself really comparing the Princess Switch trilogy to the A Christmas Prince trilogy. And again, I feel like with the Princess Switch, 1 was great, you didn't really need 2, and you definitely didn't need 3. Where at least with The Christmas Prince, I felt as if every single movie was better than the last. So Romancing the Star is going to be C tier for me, cute but forgettable. Next we have A Castle for Christmas starring Brooke Shields as Sophie, a famous author escaping to Scotland after a very public breakup and an even more public writing slump. She impulsively buys a castle, as one does, I guess, only to discover that it comes with a very grumpy duke named Miles, played by Carrie Elwes, who very much does not want her to be there. The two clash over renovations, traditions, and emotional walls thicker than the castle itself. Slowly, mutual annoyance turns into mutual respect, and then into something suspiciously romantic. This is basically enemies to lovers, but make it tartans, fireplaces, and aggressively cozy. I loved the Scottish setting of this. I loved her friends that she made. I love that she got to rediscover herself. I feel like I'm comparing this to Holiday in the Wild. In both, female main characters went away to sort of rediscover themselves, but I do think there was a bit more romance in A Castle for Christmas than in Holiday in the Wild. So I think I'm gonna put this in B tier, better than expected. Now we have A California Christmas City Lights. So this is the second installment in A California Christmas. This one picks up with Callie and Joseph newly engaged and trying to figure out what real life will look like for them post happily ever after. So again, Joseph is a city boy and Callie is a country girl. So they're trying to figure out how the rest of their life is gonna look like. All of a sudden, Joseph's mom just up and leaves and runs off with her yoga instructor. So Joseph feels obligated to return to the big city to help keep his family company running. Joseph obviously thrives in the fast-paced corporate world. This imbalance creates tension as long hours, missed moments, and very different definitions of success begin to test their relationship. So I'm gonna be honest, I watched majority of these movies last December, and I cannot remember how this one ended for the life of me. Again, I didn't really care for the first one, so this one felt very unnecessary for me. Why do we need a continuation of this story? Manny and Leo are back, so at least there's that. But for me, this is D tier, do not rewatch. Next we have Single All the Way, and this one follows Peter, who is very tired of his family judging his love life every single Christmas. To avoid the annual interrogation, he convinces his best friend Nick to come home with him for the holidays and pretend to be his boyfriend. Before Peter can even tell his family that he is fake dating Nick, his mother tells him that he has set him up on a blind date with her spinning instructor. So between fake dating, real feelings, and aggressively supportive family members, things get complicated really fast. Don't quote me on this, but I believe this is Netflix's first LGBTQ plus Christmas rom-com. I thought it was really good. I loved how supportive his family was when they thought that he was dating Nick. They were all like, yes, I've been hoping for this. I was always hoping you two would get together. It was really sweet. I loved it. Nick is such a supportive friend to Peter as well, and you just want to be like, Peter, open your eyes. But overall, it's a B for me, better than expected. Next we have Falling for Christmas starring Lindsay Lohan. This one follows Sierra Belmont, a spoiled hotel heiress who loses her memory after a skiing accident. She's taken in by Jake, a kind-hearted lodge owner, and his daughter, who show Sierra a simpler, more grounded life. Without her wealth, status, and designer wardrobe, Sierra starts to discover who she is underneath all that privilege. Meanwhile, her fiance is desperately trying to find her because, of course, he loves being engaged to a very rich woman. By the time Christmas rolls around, Sierra must choose between her old life or the unexpected, meaningful one that she stumbled into. I remember watching this when this first came out, and I wasn't crazy about it because the acting felt off to me. And I believe this was Lindsay's first movie back, essentially. She had signed a 3-picture deal with Netflix, this one being the first one. But when I rewatched it last year, it was better than I remembered. The acting didn't bother me as much, so I'm not really sure what that was about when I watched it the first time. I loved watching her learn how to do chores, make breakfast for herself, and just become an independent person pretty much. So I think for me, this is going to be a B, better than expected. Next we have A Christmas with You. This one follows Angelina, a pop star burnt out from fame and desperately looking to write the next big Christmas hit. While seeking inspiration, she unexpectedly meets Christina, a young fan whose Christmas wish leads Angelina straight into the life of Miguel, Christina's widowed father. What starts as a detour from her career slowly turns into a lesson in family, grief, and slowing down for the holidays. As Angelina connects with Miguel and his daughter Christina, the music she's been forcing finally comes naturally. By Christmas, she has to decide whether she is going to return to her carefully managed celebrity life or stay rooted in something more real. I loved the pop star aspect of this one. It was kind of reminding me of Marry Me with J-Lo. It was great seeing Amy Garcia and Freddie Prinze Jr. in this one. I loved the Latin representation. All the tias fussing over Angelina when they see her. So this one for me is a C, cute but forgettable. Next we have I Believe in Santa. This one follows Lisa, a practical adult woman who finds out that the man she's been dating actually believes in Santa Claus. And not in a fun, metaphorical way. When she learns that Santa is very real in his family and is central to their family traditions, Lisa must figure out how much she's willing to compromise for love. There's awkward holiday gatherings, mismatched belief systems, and a surprising amount of emotional honesty. This one kind of makes you think if believing in Santa is a red flag or if judging someone for it is worse. Didn't love this one, guys. I don't know what it is. I believe in the night before Christmas and this time traveling night more than I believe this grown man believes in Santa Claus. This is definitely a D, do not rewatch. Quite frankly, I'm gonna tell you, don't even watch it. I don't really see the point. Moving along to Hot Frosty. We have Kathy, a recently widowed woman who turns a snowman into a real man. Frosty, as they name him, learns how to be a human at record speed, including social cues, romance, and the concept of shirts. As the town reacts to this extremely jacked man with absolutely no backstory, Kathy finds herself opening up again after grief. This movie fully commits to its absurd premise while still trying to deliver emotional sincerity. Again, does it make sense? Not really. Is it sweet? Yeah, it has its moments. You really just feel bad for Kathy because she lost the love of her life. And yeah, if she wants to fall in love with a snowman, I am going to support her. If that's what's gonna make her happy and give her her spark back, I am here for it. This one is a C, cute but forgettable for me. Next we have The Merry Gentleman. This one follows Ashley, a big city dancer whose dreams are put on hold when she returns home for Christmas and tries to help her parents' struggling performance venue, nightclub, that sort of thing. With bills piling up and time running out, she hatches a plan to put on an all-male Christmas-themed show. Kind of Magic Mike-ish, but not like completely Magic Mike-ish, just a little bit. She enlists local men to perform in this dance group, including rugged handyman Luke, played by Chad Michael Murray. Luke has zero dance experience, which is exactly the type of thing you would want in a male dance group, I guess, but he gamely throws himself into rehearsals anyways. As Ashley's directing and choreographing the show, she gets a call for a work opportunity, so she must now decide if she wants to live her dreams or stay and help her parents and put on this show that can help them and their community, all while coming to terms with her feelings for Luke. This one was okay, definitely not my favorite, and now that I think about it, I'm thinking it came out around the same time as Hot Frosty, and I'm like, do I like it as much as Hot Frosty? And I don't think so. At least with Hot Frosty, there is the emotional aspect of it. You're really rooting for Kathy after she loses her husband. Again, kind of just a bootleg Magic Mike story. It was fine, but I'm never gonna watch it again. So D, do not rewatch. So Lindsay Lohan is back in Our Little Secret. Here she stars as Avery, who arrives at her boyfriend's family Christmas gathering only to discover that his sister is dating her ex-boyfriend. Yeah, a little complicated. Avery's boyfriend, his sister, is now dating her ex-boyfriend. So we're in this weird, I can't even call it a love square because it's with siblings, but we're in a square. So Avery and Logan must now endure meals, games, gifts exchanges, all while pretending as if they don't know each other and they don't have history with each other. This movie captures the chaos of running into your past during the holidays, complete with forced cheer, hidden breakdowns, and the heavy math of do I forgive or do I just fake my own death? I actually really enjoyed this one. Out of her 3 movies with Netflix, so Falling for Christmas, I believe Irish Wish, which was not a Christmas movie, and Our Little Secret, I actually like this one the best. I think I just loved the history that Avery and Logan had with each other since they are childhood friends. Oh, you don't really like to eat this, or you're allergic to that. But yet they're pretending to be different people with their significant others just to put on their best foot forward type of thing. I really enjoyed it. So for me, this is actually going to be A tier. Next we have Meet Me Next Christmas. This one follows Layla, who meets James while waiting at the airport as they are waiting to catch their flight. They spend a couple hours chatting and bonding, and then before they part ways, they make a pact that if they are both single next Christmas, they're going to meet at the Christmas Eve pentatonic show. As I believe Layla is dating someone, so she's not actually single when they meet. But then fast forward 1 year, Layla finds out her boyfriend was cheating on her. So she decides to try to track down James and keep their path. First, she needs to get tickets to the sold out Christmas Eve pentatonic show. Enter Teddy, who is a charming concierge who helps her in navigating sold out tickets, concert chaos, and the busy streets of New York City. Between holiday mishaps, near misses, and growing sparks in unexpected places, this movie was fantastic. The way I was on the edge of my seat, waiting to see if Layla was gonna get tickets to this concert so she could be reunited with Jane. And then all of a sudden, it kind of clicks. And then I'm like, oh, Teddy's kind of great. It didn't occur to me for the first half of the movie. I was so committed to this James plot, but wholeheartedly, I thought this movie was so good. It's set in New York, but 100% it was filmed in Toronto. I could spot all the places, and I'm that person, anytime I watch something, I'm like, it's Toronto, it's Toronto, it's Toronto. So the whole time, I was like, this is Toronto, this is Toronto. I love it even more because it's Toronto. So absolutely 100%, this is S tier. If you are only gonna watch one movie from this list, I might say it's this one. I'm gonna go rewatch this as soon as I'm done filming all of this. I thought it was so good. I wasn't expecting very much with this, and I was pleasantly blown away. Okay friends, it is a new day. I have been waiting for the 2025 movies to come out. I have watched all of them, so these are the last 4. First up, we have A Merry Little Xmas. This one follows Kate and Everett, who are a longtime married couple. But after years of compromise, resentment, and mismatched priorities, they decide that our kids are grown, we are going to finally get a divorce. Interesting take to start a Christmas movie this way. They decide since they're getting a divorce, this is going to be their last Christmas that they're going to spend together as a family. But of course, Everett complicates everything by bringing around his new girlfriend. And then Kate, on the other hand, unexpectedly connects with Chet, who works at the local Christmas tree farm and just radiates small town Christmas charm. But of course, this dynamic results in an incredibly awkward holiday where everyone is technically moving on, but then Kate and Everett are still sort of reconnecting and blurring the lines a little bit. I had high hopes for this one because this one stars Alicia Silverstone, but I didn't love it. I really felt bad for Tess. Can you imagine your new boyfriend that you've been dating, thinking everything is going well, and then all of a sudden he brings you home to meet his kids and his parents, and then you just see him flirting with his ex-wife all the time, and it's like, what? So I think that was it for me. I guess it's just the concept I wasn't really a fan of. I understand people getting together at Christmas, but for some reason, I just didn't love it. I think I almost would have been happier if they ended up with other people. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you watched it, what were your thoughts? So for me, A Merry Little Xmas is D, do not rewatch. So next we have My Secret Santa. This one centers around Taylor, who is a single mom who has newly just lost her job right before the holidays. So in a totally unhinged and festive twist, she decides to dress up as an old man so that she can play Santa at a ski resort. Part of this is that her daughter is a talented snowboarder, and employees of this ski resort get a 50% discount, I believe, off of tuition, which is why she went this route. But again, totally unhinged. Taylor finds herself falling for the owner's charming son, but then of course things obviously get complicated when the resort manager also starts to feel like there's something off about this Santa Claus. So this one was definitely giving Mrs. Doubtfire. That is exactly what it was. I thought the idea was fun for a Christmas movie, but there were just parts of it that I was like, this would never work. Taylor is basically disguising herself as a 65, 70-year-old man who has a early teenage daughter? My corporate brain was just, how did HR not catch this from the get-go? Because obviously if you're gonna get a discount on tuition, they're gonna see who the parent is that makes you eligible to get this discount. So I don't know. And it's funny because that's saying a lot, because we also have a movie here where a snowman becomes a man and a knight goes into the future. So I know this seems weird that I can't wrap my mind around this. I get it. But also this one stars Alexandra Breckenridge from Virgin River. And I love her in Virgin River. But for some reason in this one, I was like, nope, I don't like it, girl. You shouldn't have done this one. So this one for me, again, D, do not rewatch. Next we have Jingle Bell Heist. This one follows Sophia and Nick, two strangers brought together by bad luck, financial stress, and a strong desire for revenge. Just days before Christmas, they team up to rob one of London's most prominent department stores. Nick is trying to get revenge on the department store owner, while Sophia is just trying to help her mother with her medical bills so they won't be drowning in debt. As their plan unfolds, mistrust, personal baggage, and undeniable chemistry complicate what is supposed to be a simple score. Between close calls and emotional confessions, the line between partners and something more starts to blur. Again, I thought this was an interesting concept for a holiday rom-com, two people working together to rob a department store. So this one is set in London. Sophia did mention that she used to live in the States with her mom, but her mom is from London and she wanted to come back because I guess the medical coverage in London and England is more than what it would be in the States. I actually didn't think there would be a romantic component to this when I first started watching. I thought I had gotten it wrong and it shouldn't have been on the list, but it does start to happen and I was here for it. I love both of them talking about their reasons for this heist and sort of their deeper reasons, not their superficial ones that you just assume about. So those were actually a little bit unexpected for me. I want to say C, cute but forgettable. I don't know if it's really B tier. Again, I did like it. Yeah, I think we'll do C, cute but forgettable. And last but not least, we have Champagne Problems. So this one follows Sydney, a investment executive, so to speak, sent to France just days before Christmas to acquire a very prestigious champagne house. On her first night, she meets a very charming local named Henri, who immediately complicates her emotional boundaries and her work itinerary. Because of course, Henri is not just a charming local, he is actually the son of the champagne house's owner that Sydney's company is trying to acquire. As Christmas approaches, Sydney is forced to choose between her career ambitions and the slower, more meaningful life that is unfolding right in front of her. I had no expectations of this going in. I didn't even watch the trailer for it. Again, it just came up on my list when I was looking up Netflix original holiday rom-coms. So even though the title said Champagne Problems, I had no idea it was going to be what it was. And it was kind of giving me Emily in Paris, because I think her marketing company also took on a champagne house. So it was just sort of relating all to that when I was watching it. But I will say I loved the French setting, especially in the winter. One of my travel goals is to visit Strasbourg, France during the winter for their Christmas market. So it was really just giving me those vibes. There is a lot of French in this movie where you need to be paying attention and reading the subtitles. So I thought that was a little different just because no other Netflix original rom-com that I've watched had that much of another language in it. You have Henri fighting with his dad all the time. So they're of course going back and forth in French only. I actually think this is A tier for me. I know, call me crazy. Let me know if you agree. I did feel like going out and buying a bottle of champagne after watching this, but that's just me. I'm clearly easily influenced. Okay, so looking at my final rankings for S tier, we have Holidate, Love Hard, and Meet Me Next Christmas. I am totally happy with this. I think that's good. For A tier, we have A Christmas Prince, The Royal Baby. Again, this one is the last installment in this trilogy. I like it more than I do the first two, but again, I do think you need to watch the first two to enjoy the third one as much. Our Little Secret, yes, and then Champagne Problems. That one's the newest one. I'm just trying to see if there are any ones that I like over others in the different tiers. I think D tier, I'm sure about that. I don't think I would change any of those. It's really just between B and C. I am happy with all of my rankings. Again, it's just all in fun. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I crazy? So that is my tier ranking of every single Netflix original Christmas rom-com. Again, US and Canada release. Let me know if there are other Netflix original Christmas rom-coms that you think are worth watching that weren't just Canada US releases. I haven't really dived into the international ones yet, but if you recommend them, I will watch them. If you've made it to the end, let me know down in the comments your favorite movie on this list. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for more content. Thank you so much. I wish you and your families the best of holidays and a Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching. Bye.